What up, MetaZoo maniacs? So today we're going to go over some crazy PSA 10 Mothman cards sold on eBay within about the last month or so. But first, we just got to briefly go over this Neo Genesis Mothman card. Let's zoom in on it. That's a really nice looking card. So do a screenshot if you want. Get your free PFP, courtesy of MetaZoo Menace. And serialized at 14 out of 16. Obviously a super nice card. Got those 8-bit graphics going. We all love that nostalgia. So some red flags here. Why I don't think this was a real auction, that this was all fake. It's selling from Puerto Rico. Now I'm not saying you can't sell MetaZoo cards in Puerto Rico. But if your profile has 0 feedback in the last 12 months and you have no other auctions on your eBay, the bidding history shows that no one bid on it. There's only one person bidding on it. Leads me to believe that this was fake. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, if you are the person or you know the person that bought this, comment below and I'm happy to admit I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was not a legit auction. Next, let's go over the fun part of this video. Chromie and Mothman Secret Rare PSA 9. Now this sold legit for $2,700. So it is serialized out of 131, right? 41 out of 131. Beautiful card, PSA 9. Now do you think that was a good deal or bad deal? It's all about perspective, right? We got to compare it to something. So I'm going to show you 6 Mothman cards that graded higher than a PSA 9 and also have a lower print run than this card, which is serialized out of 131. And all these 6 cards I'm going to show you, the total to buy all these 6 cards would be $2,770. Meanwhile, this card, which graded lower than any of the cards I'm going to show you and has a higher print run than any of the cards I'm going to show you, this sold for $2,700 just for this card. First, we have the Beckett. Ooh, this is a nice card. Gem Mint 9.5. Orange Refractor Mothman from Topps Chrome. Not only is it Orange Refractor, which means it's serialized out of 25, it's number 1 out of 25. And this card sold for $315. There's the Gem Mint Green Refractor Mothman from Topps Chrome, serialized out of 99, sold for $190. Next we have the Mothman Cryptid Camera Gold Refractor, so it's serialized out of 50, PSA 10 for $550. Mothman, I mean, this is the first, to me, this is the real secret rare Mothman, the very first secret rare Mothman. It's numbered out of 99, the very first top series 0 set. Gem Mint 10 for $660. That is insane how low that got. That's a steal of a deal. Revive Nightfall Skateboard unscratched, so you can still scratch it if you were to open this up and get the skateboard. PSA 10 for $740. And the Bear Walker unscratched, so you can still get the skateboard. Mothman PSA 10 for $355. So you could have all 6 of those cards for $2,770. Or you could have this card for $2,700. I mean, I'm pretty sure what everyone's going to comment below, that they'd rather have those 6 cards rather than this one Chromie Cryptid Carnival Secret Rare. But hey, you know, to each their own. I'm not saying you're wrong if you choose this card over all those 6 other cards, but just saying what I would do. And now let's go over some other, you know, recent auctions for PSA 10 Mothman cards, just so we could document the market in a year from now, 2 years, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what these cards are selling for. So we have Kickstarter Full Holo Mothman PSA 10, sold for $980. We have a first edition Full Holo Mothman, $110. Second edition Full Holo Mothman PSA 10 selling for $32. I also wanted to mention this too. So for the Kickstarter Mothman Full Holo PSA 10, there's 125 copies that have graded a PSA 10 out of 234 graded. For the first edition, now this is part of why I think first edition is getting so cheap, besides the whole market, you know, in a dip, is there's 991 PSA 10 Full Holo Mothmans from first edition out of 1,369 graded. And second edition Full Holo doesn't have that many graded. Like, you would think there'd be a lot more because it's a lot cheaper to get. But there's 337 graded and only 203 have graded as a PSA 10. But the first edition Full Holo Mothman, there's almost 1,000 copies. So that's why it's only selling for about $110. And that's interesting. That was Nick Strength of Pokemon's auction, because he always talks about it in his live stream that he once sold a first edition PSA 10. He once sold one of these for $2,000. And now he's selling one for $110. Some other notable auctions for PSA 10 Mothman cards sold recently I'd like to go over would be the Topps Chrome Cryptid Camera, just the regular one, PSA 10, sold for $78.77. Next we have Mothman. I mean, this is one of the... This is so nice. You can't even get this as a sample card. Let's just zoom in on it. I mean, it's a beautiful full hollow Mothman card. From Nightfall. PSA 10 selling for only $19.50. That's literally what it costs to grade the card. So you're making zero money if you send Nightfall full hollow Mothman cards in. Even if you get a PSA 10, you're not really making anything. You're pretty much losing money, which is crazy. And I don't think it's going to be like that in the future. I think cards like this are ultimate sleeper cards. These Nightfall PSA 10 cards, even the Wendigos are going for cheap. But Mothman cards, this is like a Charizard PSA 10 full hollow from, I don't know, from Team Rocket first edition or something. Like, you know, the Dark Charizard? This is like the Dark Mothman. I don't know. Well, maybe it's not a Dark Mothman, but you get what I'm saying. It's from Nightfall. Next, we have another Mothman PSA 10 from Nightfall, sold for $38, which is like double what the other one just sold for. But the reason why is because if you zoom in on it, it's got a little bit of hollow bleed. So it's got a little bit of that Super Saiyan error. I mean, it's not much, but that's why it's sold for double. Next, we have undervalued cards, in my opinion. That's one of the nicest artworks that's so cheap to buy as a PSA 10. The Halloween, like the chase card in the Halloween set. PSA 10. I mean, let's take a look at that. That card had beautiful artwork. Only $33 for this card as a PSA 10? That's crazy. Very good pickup, whoever bought that. Next, we have Top Chrome Mothman Refractor PSA 10. These are incredibly hard to get as a PSA 10. But even the sale, it's sold for $10.50, which is insanely cheap. That's like half the price it was to grade the card. Next, we have a regular non-hollow, which is a regular playing card. Mothman, Queen of Hearts, PSA 10, $20.50. I'm not sure how this sold for double of what this card sold for. That's weird, but whatever. I mean, there's a lot more of these out there. You can get these in any deck of Cryptid Nation. But pulling one of these is not that easy. Next, we have the Christmas promo. Pretty nice card, $20.50 again, PSA 10. Whoever picked up these cards, or whoever won these auctions, I mean, these are pretty nice cards to pick up for relatively cheap. Next, we have the MetaZoo times Floric Beasties, where you got the t-shirt. It's just a promo card, $35 as a PSA 10. Not bad, pretty cool card. Let's zoom in on the artwork. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There wasn't much hollow on the card, but there's a little bit underneath Bigfoot there, some up here. But pretty interesting card. I'm interested to see where cards like this go in value in the future, because A, no one's even going to know these cards exist, but when they see them, I think the artwork's pretty badass and it's pretty nice, and I think they will go up in value over time. So another good pickup from whoever bought that one. Here we have no hollow, just regular Mothman, non-hollow, PSA 10 from Nightfall, $7.19. This card, I don't know why it never had value. Someone comment below. It's one of the winged attack Mothman, like one of the first, I think there's 7 winged attack Mothman cards. Argos talks about it a lot. But PSA 10 for this from Pin Club, $25. Here we have a regular Top Chrome Mothman alternate art, PSA 10, sold for $20, not bad. Here we have the regular art Mothman, Topps Chrome, just a base card, PSA 10, so for $22.50. And here we have the Dim Mak Mothman, one of the nicest like Mothman artworks there. Zoom in on it. I just think it's badass. Anything that Dim Mak made, like with Steve Aoki and stuff, for the Mothman cards, actually any of the beasties, were pretty badass, like pretty awesome. So this one has a PSA 10, still holding up, despite how many actually are out there now. $96 in auction. I'm impressed by that price. And here we have the Topps Chrome Mothman X-Fractor PSA 10, sold for $150, which is quite a bit. These sell for such a huge premium over the regular Mothman Refractor PSA 10, sold for $30. So is this undervalued, the refractor, or is the X-fractor overvalued? That's another question I have. I don't know what to make of that. That's crazy. So anyways, comment below. What do you think of all these auctions? What do you think about this Chromie and Mothman Secret Rare PSA 9 selling for literally $70 less only than 6 other top-end Mothman cards that are lower print run and graded higher than this card? That's insane to me. But anyways, comment below and we'll see you in the next video.